Subhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Vasudevam Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Hari. Yes. So, as usual, can someone recollect what is it that we have seen? So, we form a link. Yes, please. Badinayaji. Yes,
Hello.
sir. Yes, ji.
Lord Krishna in this Bhakti Yoga, toward the end, the last 5-6 slokas, he tells us who is dear to him, and then in the last sloka, he says who is dearest of the devotees. So first we will just see who is dear to him.
Okay.
The one who is dear to him, he is the one who is pure and perfect.
Okay.
In every action, expecting nothing in return. Any work that he does, and even to the extent he forgoes the ownership, that I am the doer, I have done this and all that, and hence due to this reason he is free from agitations, worry, and anxieties and all these. Then Lord Krishna says, for such a person for whom auspicious and inauspiciousness are the one, and who never rejoices or rejects, neither does he have desires nor any grievances over the material objects. Further he says, the one who is samabhava in heat, cold, happiness, sorrow, honor, dishonor, whether loss or gain, he is equanimous. And then for him, friends and enemies are one and the same. He treats them as one. He is basically balanced in all the opposites, good, bad, good. And then he further says he is always contented and blissful. Contentment with whatever he gets, and neither in praise. He is very calm and very peaceful, even in insults or if anybody praises him. And then he is undisturbed, either when his family, friends, or anybody get detached. And Lord Krishna now here says, such a soul is very dear to him because of the strong belief that he has in me, and he has a very great devotion towards me. Then Lord Krishna, last sloka says, of the 20th sloka, he says, who is the dearest of all the devotees? He says, one whose aim is only to love him, only to love Krishna. And then by following such a path, this person is a glory or an example to others in the path of devotion. Hari Om.
Yes, sir. Hari Om. Hari Om. Thank you, Badinaranji. Yes, please. That's a very nice summary of what we saw. Anybody else would like to add further to what Badinaranji has said? Hari Om, Shardaji. Namaste. Yes, anybody would like to add something to what Badinaranji has said? Or we'll go ahead. All right. If nobody is adding. So this last thing is what Krishna is saying. Dearest devotee is that person who is becoming the example, who is living the principles. I think there is no better way than by living and practicing. It is like Adhyatma. A lot of people think spirituality is so important. It is important in life, but it is only in the intellect. And if it is not in practice, it is empty. It is of no use. So these principles that Krishna is saying, these principles, who is able to follow, who is able to remain calm, it is very easy to get angry, isn't it? It is very easy to get disturbed. It is easy to, what we can say. I just, in a class, I had gone to a group of CAs. I asked, how many of you like to be angry or worried? Not one hand went up. Nobody likes getting angry or nobody likes to get worried. But this is the human nature. This is Prakriti which is making us react. something happens, no matter you see whichever part of the world. Why is it all of us are connecting with the Gita? There's a simple reason why we are connecting is because we are all bound by Prakriti and we are having the problems of Prakriti. Somewhere we feel, are we completely dependent on Prakriti or is there some way? Because Krishna is slowly telling some of the practical things which can make our lives better. Why is the formula of Krishna, which was given 5,000 plus years before, still applicable today's age, era, everything? People say generation changes. It is said even even 6-year-old child says my city is not like how it was before, because this aspect of changes keep happening. But still, Bhagavad Gita is giving us. We are all investing our precious time to try to understand Gita for one simple reason. It's having the universal practical principles which can take our difficulties out of our life, which life can become simple, life can become more, what we can say, as if you see, I think Badrinathji beautifully told, who is a great devotee of Krishna? Somebody who is contented, who is having trupti, who is satisfied, who is calm. What we can say is, now we all saw who dearest is living the principles. But my question is, why should we become the dearest devotee? So Krishna gets pleased, so Krishna gets happy, or because why should we become the dearest devotee of the divine? Anybody, if you can just tell me the answer to this question, we'll quickly go into the next adhyay. Somebody else, Badrinathji, after I'll come to you in the end. Yes, please. Anybody else? Why? Why should we become the dearest devotee? Any particular reason? Is it for Krishna so he doesn't feel bad and he says, oh, okay, I'm not alone, a lot of people are thinking of me? Or what is the reason? Why should anybody? Yes, Kulkarni-ji. Yes, sir.
It's for ourselves, not for Krishna.
For ourselves, absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For transforming our life. Yes, Kulkarni-ji has said for ourselves. That's a perfect answer. Yes, Badrinathji, you were adding something? Most welcome, sir.
No. Basically, as we have just seen, all these divine qualities of being contented and all these, whether we get anything, whether we don't get anything, this samabhava and all that. Once we live life with those principles, we are ultimately benefited and we are peaceful. It is for our own benefit.
Yes, yes. What we can
And
say,
it will
absolutely,
lead
sir.
us to a higher and higher path in the spiritual life.
Absolutely. Previously also, why should one engage in the path of yoga? Arjuna had asked. Krishna had told for removing sufferings from our life, because all of us are somehow. Badrinathji wants to add something? No.
Sorry. No, what
All
I
right, I'll
wanted
just
to tell
mute.
was ultimately all this lead to higher and higher spiritual. That means you are progressing gradually by following this principle. You are gradually progressing on the spiritual path, which takes you to the ultimate self-realization, self-unfoldment, evolution, something like that.
But does it have no practical value, Badrinathji? This self-realization means a child, if you see a 20-year-old boy will say, why should I get self-realization? I want to go have a good time with my friends. I want to get a good job. So is it only for...
Basically now along with his day-to-day life, if he inculcates some of these habits, he should be able to balance life in such a way that maybe as he progresses, he will understand that yes, this is what is more important in life. Of course, he will not leave away the material life. Along with the
Yes,
material life, he will be able to lead a better and better material life
better
along
life.
with
All
the
right.
spiritual life.
Okay. All right. Okay, ji. Thank you. I'll just mute you. Yes. I'm sorry. I'll just mute you. Yeah. Hari Om. Yes, this is the thing. This is the thing. It is for us. It is for us. As Sri Aurobindo says, how to lead a life divine, meaning our life can become divine. What does a divine life mean? We are going to live like all human beings live that way only. We have Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Nobody will escape from all of these. But a transformation of life, what we say quality of life, for bringing that change, these principles are required. Better relations, better experiences. When you are conscious, when you are unconscious, what happens? Oh, I didn't even think so. I talked something. Many times people, you see in movies, they show hero is somehow reduced consciousness because of drinks or some influence. And the person starts talking something and it is glorified in the cinematic representations. But in college, many of my friends would get inspired by this. But the problem is in real life, when they practically tried it, even the words would be slurred. They could not give brilliant dialogues which they could see on the TV. Because when you lower your consciousness, what actions you are doing, you are not conscious of what you are doing. It leads to so many other problems. One person came drunk to the classroom, got suspended, name got spoiled, full year got wasted for him because what he did in one moment. Why? Somebody told him it was cool. So like this is a lower state, we can say, of unconsciousness. But there are other states of unconsciousness which we are not aware of. When we become yogis, because Krishna is saying, Tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. When we become yogi, we become alert. We will be able to see a lot of signs in our world, which will allow us, if the person in front is not listening to you only, and you are only talking, is it a sign of a healthy relationship? But no, you are unconscious of the person. I want to talk. I just want somebody because I need somebody to listen to me. That will not help in the relationship. But if you are conscious, you will understand sometimes even without words, you can talk so many things also. From heart to heart, they say telepathy, so many other experiences are there. One person thinks of something, the other partner is able to understand it just like that without being told. How is it? Well, there we can say it's like a divine connection. Well, this is what Krishna is slowly trying to tell Arjuna. Arjuna, raise your consciousness. Tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. Yoga yukto bhavarjuna. Become, practice yoga. And here Krishna says, dearest devotee is not that person who has done this many akhanda part or who has done this much japa. Of course, all these are important. But Krishna has chosen that person who is living my principles, he becomes the example, not because Krishna wants representatives, because Krishna is teaching this path for the world, not for even one particular dharma. Later on, we'll see Sarva Dharman Parityaji. He is asking to go beyond all dharmas also. But that person must have the universal principle. Why? Because there is a divine conscious plan in the world. And that is probably what we are trying to understand and get aligned with also. Because each of us are part of some kind of, we can say each of us are a legend in itself. If we connect with that divine consciousness, there is a sutra. Yoga is that which is going to give us that link. So with this, we stopped at the 12th Adhyay. We will now continue. Before we enter into the next Adhyay, I would like to just share the illustration for the next Adhyay. Yes, can someone see the screen? And can somebody describe what you see in the screen? We will begin. Yes, please. Anybody, please feel free to unmute, preferably somebody who has not yet spoken, because we would like to have a more, what we can say, active participation from everyone. Yes, please, anybody. Yes, we can wait for a moment, but if nobody else is there, anybody wishes to again speak, also most welcome. Let us go ahead. Can someone just describe the illustration? What do you see in this illustration? Yes, please. Anybody? Please feel free to unmute. We cannot start the Adhyay until we study this illustration. So, yes, please. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Yes, Deepali ji. Yes, please.
Is it related to Earth, Bhudevi, or
Okay. Bhudevi.
goddess of
You are seeing.
creator?
Acha, Bhudevi, goddess. Okay. What else do you see? We want to describe the illustration, means what is there in it. What do you see in this? What makes you think it's Bhudevi? Because?
All the creations are from this goddess.
Okay.
And we can call this as Earth, Ma.
Okay. Mother Earth.
Mother.
Okay. All right. Deepali ji is saying this looks like Bhudevi and everything is part Dharti Ma. It is something All right. Anybody else would like to add to what Deepali ji has said? Yes, please. What do you see?
In the earth, the tree
I
of life is sprouting out with birds flying around on that. So living beings.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
the description says divine feminine. So it depicts Mother Nature. We call it Mother Earth and Mother Nature. So
Okay.
essentially the divinity is in the female form.
Okay, so the female, feminine form of the divinity, which is
Divinity.
addressed as Mother Nature. Okay, this is on a lot of traditions also. We have these Greek traditions also where they have a Titan who is what we can say connected with nature. What do we see inside of the earth? Anybody? Could you just
It's a
describe?
globe.
Okay, Gayatri ji. Yes.
It's a globe. There are landforms, and I mean Africa. We can see map of
Okay, it looks
Africa,
like Africa.
and
Okay, it looks like an Africa's map.
and a
Okay.
tree in the form of a female.
Okay. Yes. Yes, a female, and inside of it, we see that what do we see? A lot of activity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Means there's a windmill also, there's recycling also, there's a drop of
Nature
water also.
cycle.
Yes. All types, and there's somebody's cycling and so many things. Electricity symbol. Yes. Badrinath wants to add. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is the creation that is inside in this earth, and this creation is very lively. You can see with lot of creations done by the human beings also, like car and flywheel and
Yes.
bulbs and all that.
Yes.
That is the power of the Creator which He has given to us, which in turn we are also creating for all these material benefits for us. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Yes, sir. Fine. Thank you. Absolutely. So this divine feminine, there is something which is called Prakriti. So Prakriti is being introduced here. Prakriti is the what we can say feminine counterpart of the supreme divine. Means there's a feminine, means there's also a masculine. The masculine is called the Purusha. The feminine is called Prakriti. But Prakriti is comprising all living beings, meaning all the genders of the world, what we understand, whether it is a hermaphrodite also, whether it is the individuals, living plants, animals, everything come into it. Now we have a big array of genders for human beings also, which is causing confusion now in the West. Well, all of them, whether or not, on the spirit level, we are one and we are all parts of Prakriti. So here we see that Prakriti, if you look at the tagline, it is introducing some concept saying that Prakriti is also immortal, just like the Creator. All living beings are constituents of this divine feminine. Let us see once this Adhyay starts, how is it going connected? So with this, we are ready. Let us begin. There are two variants in this chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. In one certain books, you will find this Bhagavad Gita chapter beginning with a question of Arjuna. In some other Bhagavad Gita books, it directly begins with Krishna's shloka. So maybe shloka number 1 may become shloka number 2 in some other chapters. But otherwise, all the shlokas are the same only. Even the numberings, some versions of the Gita has 35 shlokas, some version has 34. So we are looking at the one with 34. Even the recent like Gita Press version also has 34 shlokas only. Let us continue. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramitya Vidhiyate Etadyo Veti Tam Prahuhu Kshetragnya iti tadvidaha. Sri Krishna answered, O Arjuna, this physical body that you own is the field that is to be known. And he who knows in principle its foundation is the knower who knows its mode of operation. So first, idam shariram kaunteya. This sharira, physical body. Many people say physical body is useless, physical body is waste. No, in Adhyatma also physical body is recognized as a madhyam. I cannot say I am the spirit, so I will discard my body or I will not care about my body. No, my sadhana will take place in this sharira as long as I take care of this sharira. So there is something called first duty towards our body. Shariram Adhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. Anybody knows this? This is a motto of which organization? I think it's Kalidasa's words only, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Which, if you want to guess also, even if you don't know, where do you think it will be connected with? Shariram Adhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. As a guess randomly, which organization? Yes, Shivaji?
Probably a hospital.
Yes, absolutely. All
Yes.
India Institute of Medical Sciences. Yes, absolutely. So this is a beautiful mantra because your first duty, your first dharma is towards the body. Imagine I get the best intellectual thoughts. I do a lot of what we can say probably meditation, and I want to write the best poetry in the world. But I don't take care of my health at all. What's going to happen? I'll start writing a chapter and then my health is not going to support my body, my actions. What's the use? All my dreams, aspirations will disappear. So I am in this body. I'll have to understand my body. I'll have to take care of my body. So my first duty is this. And Krishna is telling Arjuna, first understand your Sharira because it is called a Kshetra. Kshetra means field. We know playground, we know big fields, but no, Krishna is telling our body itself is a field. Doctors will agree when they study when you see the body, you will see so many actions going on. It is like a huge field only. If you look at some of the interesting organ systems inside, it's crazy. Nano speed, whatever nanotechnology has not yet reached. Thoughts are getting relayed so quickly. How the electric current is moving, who is creating, who is doing maintenance, which service engineer. Nobody is able to say. Your intestines, they are all in such a small place. But if it is stretched out, it goes so long. How is it? How? What? It's all crazy. How is it possible? Each and every place. There are neurons in our gut also, in our heart also, and in our brain also. Now, where is the mind then? If mind is connected with neurons, nobody is able to predict. So the Sharira is something which Krishna is saying, is telling, become conscious of your body. That is a very important indication because a lot of people on the spiritual path don't take care of their bodies, considering it as something inferior. No, it is given by Krishna. We will have to take care of a gift which is given to us in the best possible way. One more bhajan is there of Anup Jalota where he says, Jeeni re Jeeni, this Chadariya, he says, compares this body given as a blanket. I have got this blanket. I am going to return it back to the owner without causing any damage to it, back in the same perfect condition. Because he said, this is the blanket which has been given to be my mind divine. So something like that. This is the field that you must be conscious of. And Krishna says, he who knows in principle its foundation is the knower, who knows its mode of operation. Become conscious of your body, you will understand that divine isn't inside also. You will start recognizing it as your level of consciousness increases. Krishna is saying that. Next, he says further, he says, Kshetragnyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetragnya yognyanam yata jnanam matam mama. Then he says, as the knower supreme, recognize me, knower of all the fields that can in existence be. The knowledge of the knower and the field is the ultimate wisdom that a being can wield. So first thing he told us, this is the Kshetra, your body. Who knows your body best? You only, isn't it? I know if I go to a doctor also, what will the doctor ask? Boss, what is your case history? Can you at least tell me something about you? Are you having allergic reaction to certain medications? Are there any other known problems? Sometimes people have heart instead of left side, it's in the right side. So then he has to say, no, doctor, I have dextrocardia, my heart is on this side. So something like that, each person is conscious. Sometimes doctor gives medicine. Some patients take the medicine and become all right. Some patients throw the medicine and become all right. Well, that is the nature of that person's prakriti, which the person has to be conscious. It cannot become a rule that you must take. Somebody will have a double dosage also, or veterinary dose also won't work on someone. And for someone, a very small infant dose also works. That person must be aware because each is like the tallest person and the shortest person. both have the same parameters according to science, because that's an average. But each individual is different. So this aspect, know your body, Krishna said. Then he went one more step. Now, if you see, there are so many people in the world, so many Kshetras, so many different types of Kshetras. People come all shapes, sizes, colors, everything. Natures, so many different. But Krishna is saying there is one Kshetragnya who is conscious of all the Kshetras. Means it's like one center from which it's like all data upload is going on and it is stored in one divine drive. Something like that. That divine, Krishna is saying, recognize me to be the Kshetragnya, who knows all the Kshetras. And this knowledge of the Kshetra and the Kshetragnya is the highest knowledge. Meaning becoming. Yes, Dipaliji wants to add something. Yes, please.
There is one of old Marathi bhajan.
Okay, ji.
देवाचे मंदिर आता आत्मा परमेश्वर. Related to this, no? Deha
Yes,
and
yes.
the Atma, that Kshetra and Kshetrajna.
Yes. So realization comes, you will understand. Actually, many times Amleji says, you want to get a darshan of Hindustan. Why do you want to spend money of yourself or somebody else's? Jara gardan gumalo, ho jayega darshan pura Hindustan ka. Meaning, what is our India? You can just look around and see. Sometimes in the fields also you will understand spirituality which is not present elsewhere. So like that, when you become conscious, that light can be accessed by anybody at any point, any place. This is an important aspect. And here Krishna is saying there's one Kshetragnya who is connected with all the Kshetras, as we have seen before. Sutre Manigana eva, meaning each Kshetra is a mani or a beautiful pearl, and one sutra connecting everybody. Well, Krishna goes on further. It's not just body that is the Kshetra. Next shloka, he extends the definition of the Kshetra. Third shloka, we see. Tat Kshetram yat yadrukcha yat vikari yatascha yat sajayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shrunu. So he is telling, listen, he's telling Arjuna. Arjuna is probably in love with Krishna. He's going to listen to everything after Vishwarupa Darshana and then Bhakti Yoga. Arjuna is now sadhak. We don't have the authority to even give him points like we used to give earlier. Let us continue. He says about the field and its multifarious diversities of its source, nature, and inherent deformities, and also what it is and what is its influences, sphere. I shall lend them to you. I shall explain them to you. So lend me your ear. He says, listen, give me your ear, Arjuna. I will explain to you in detail about this field, about the various diversities in the field. Meaning this field is not just the body, it's extending beyond the body also. Meaning, we'll see what it is. Of its source, means source from where this field is. Nature, what is the nature of the field? What is the way it functions? And inherent deformities. This is one more aspect. Meaning, there are deformities in the Kshetra. Yes or no? Do we agree? Are deformities there? Yes. We have so many. If you see, when yes, Badriganji also, yes, just we'll continue. Okay, you want to say something? Yes, sir.
No, I want to just know what are these deformities like,
it will come.
Okay.
It will come in the next shloka, sir. Absolutely. Now it's used the word vikara. Vikara is used. What is the vikara? We will see that. So, but if you look at it, we know Kshetra is a definition. So for me, Kshetra is first definition was body. What is deformity in my body? I know my eyes cannot see perfectly. I need glasses. My teeth are not perfect. I have to go to dentist. So these are what vikara only, isn't it? But if we go a little bit higher, we see nature or people around us. If we see the society, is everybody perfect? No. There are so many elements which are deformed, but they are part of humanity. They are part of our society only, isn't it? If somebody is not there still, can we say they are not in my city? When they are dwelling in your city, you are all city dwellers of the same place. Nation, if you want to go a little wider. So, what in our nation, is it perfect? No. But there are good things, there are bad things like this. But we cannot close our eyes and say there's nothing bad. That is like an ostrich then. Ostrich hiding from a dangerous situation. But hiding underground by just putting the head inside will not make the situation disappear. So we must understand where is the deformity, where what action must be done, what is the step, what is your karma, what is the dharma of the moment. All this we have to become conscious. So Krishna, this Adhyay is going to become a little bit more practical. Interesting that after Darshana, Krishna is trying to bring Arjuna back to the ground. Many times what happens is in the Adhyatmic Marga, people start walking, they get an experience and then they get carried away by that experience. Swami Vivekananda, he got some realization when his guru touched his head. He had to hit him again on the head, quickly, quietly. It was a subtle action, not a physical hit I'm talking about. But he had to bring him back. Imagine Swami Vivekananda suddenly realizes, I am one of the Sapta Rishis. Why should I go to Chicago, give a talk there? Why should I do anything else? Why should I go giving talks? Why should I bring about transformation? My work is over. If I realize. So he had to brief that, because many times this tendency is there that this body is the last to change. So sometimes the inner spirit becomes impatient and says, no, leave it. Let me see later on. Reset, new game, let us restart. No, Krishna has talked about coming back, because here, understand the source, understand the nature and the inherent deformities. My question is anybody here who's an engineer? Engineering, from the engineering field? If yes, please unmute. I will not ask very big questions about engineering. I have also left that field quite a long time back. Yes, please. Anybody?
Yeah.
Yes, Chitraji and Badrinaranji. All right, I'll go to Chitraji now because Badrinaranji next. Chitraji, you have you heard of this thermodynamics anytime?
Yeah, but I did it in computer science engineering. So,
Yes, first year was probably a common subject, isn't it?
yeah.
I know it because I did not clear the paper in my main core subject. It was in my third year. So anyway, there is something that
Thermodynamics.
yes, sir. Badrinaranji, you also have heard of it.
Yeah. Mechanical engineering second year. Thermodynamics is there. Boiler.
Applied thermodynamics is there,
Yeah.
just thermodynamics, then heat and mass transfer. But now if you see there are three aspects, isn't it? Source, surrounding, and environment. Do you remember anything of it? Not much.
No.
All right, fine. We'll go on. So any machine is when you are designing anything, these three aspects are always considered: source, surrounding, the system, the surrounding, and the environment. So the system is how is it interacting with the surroundings? That defines the functioning. Means whether it is drawing energy, it is drawing heat, or it is expelling heat. Whether it is, again, what type is it, a heat engine or is it a cooling engine? It just depends on all this. Biggest of complicated machines are devised using this simple principle of system, surroundings, and environment. This aspect. So something like that, we must understand our presence and our interaction with our surrounding. Means from where is the divine consciousness functioning, where is Prakriti taking control of me, or what is happening, this interaction, what are the vikara. When there is vikara, we have to accommodate certain aspects to eliminate the vikara. So these aspects is what are very important, and Krishna is saying, listen, I will tell you. And what he says is actually a gist of great Vedantic texts also. Even Brahma Sutras, they are considered to be very important texts of what is Brahmagyan. That same thing can be found in this particular Adhyay. Krishna says, I will tell it to you, to Arjuna. He goes on further. Rishibhir Bahuda Gitam Chandobhir Vividhaihi Pruthak Brahma Sutra Padaishchaiva Hetur Madhir Vinishchitaihi. The sages and the ancient seers of old have thus, in their hymns, thus extolled the Brahma Sutras, the great scriptures, classical, describe its philosophy and rationale in a way most logical. So Krishna says the great yogis, they had understood this Kshetra and Kshetragnya and the Vibhaga of the Kshetra, meaning even understanding the Kshetragnya is an important aspect. Connect with the Kshetragnya. Understand your Kshetra, understand what are the vikara or the deformities. All of it, he says, even in Brahma Sutras, you can find that. Because in the Brahma Sutras, he says, it has been described, this philosophy, in a way which is very logical. The great yogis understood this with a lot of research, dhyana, so many things they did. to get that, and they shared that. It is basically a passing on of wisdom. And Krishna is saying, I'll share that to you. He goes on further. Mahabhutan yahankaro buddhiravyaktam evacha indriyani dashaikam cha panchachendriya gocharaha. So the field consists of ego and 5 elements. Ahankar is present in the field, meaning we are in the field, aren't we? We are also the field. So Ahankar is present inside of us also. This is a universal phenomenon which is present in the field, whether we like it, whether we don't like it. Ahankar is there. Many times my Guruji says, don't start looking for Ahankar in somebody else. Why? The Ahankar of you only is searching for Ahankar in somebody else. Instead of that, continue with your sadhana. This is a part. Sri Aurobindo says, ego is a helper. Ego is a bar. It's like a wild horse. You tame the wild horse, you can go ahead, isn't it? So somewhere, that is a fine line. You remove ego, it's like removing the skeleton of an individual. What will happen? That's all. There's no individual without it. So Ahankar is present. Aham Brahmasmi is also Ahankar, but this is a Divya Ahankar. That is the Divya one. The Aham here is not individual Aham. It is like my father says, I am a father. Well, that is not Ahankar, that's a truth, isn't it? Something like that. But some child on the road comes and says, I am your dad. Then that becomes Ahankar because that's not true. Well, it's like that. Here, Krishna says there is Ahankar and the Pancha Mahabhutas, meaning all 5 elements, they are present. So the field is consisting of this. The mind, mana is there. 10 senses, meaning the 5 senses and 5 sense components. What are the sense components? Touch, taste, smell, sound, and sight. And also the inextensible and unmanifest light. This is a beautiful shloka. This is a shloka which indicates a hidden aspect, which is sometimes overlooked also. So because we are going to be connected practically, right now we are not seeing Krishna coming and telling things to us directly in our face every day. We are not watching him sit next to us, play the basuri. What do we do then? Whatever our indriyas are there, they are giving our vivek buddhi, our man. With all of these only we function in this world based on our perception. So let us use that only to understand the Kshetra. So there is the field, there is the ego and the 5 elements. Meaning where human beings are there, their Ahankar will be there. Don't imagine everybody to become free of Ahankar. What you can do is you can do sadhana and try to reduce. There was this, I got one experience of Ahankar in me. It was a very bad experience when I saw that Ahankar. It was a very, what we can say, a troublesome experience nearly 8-9 years back. When I saw it, I felt very small, very ugly. But then that time I wrote a poem. I called it Monster in the Mirror. Because it describes how I went in search of this monster everywhere. I had a sword in my hand. I went to cut and destroy this monster because this monster is not good. Finally, I kept walking and I don't know why my road turned towards my home. I came and then I saw in the mirror. In the mirror, I found my monster I was searching for. Meaning that Ahankar is there inside of us. We have to do sadhana for reducing it. That is all we can do. But it is a part of Prakriti, meaning it has some role. Means convert Ahankar to Swabhiman. Difference is there between what we can say. There's a pride of being an Indian, isn't it? Or Amrutasya Putra Vayam. We are children of immortality. I am a children of this Rishi. I am a children of this Vedic tradition. So I am a child of this tradition. So I will understand the scripture. I will try to connect to the higher truth. Why am I so different from this? This is a good thought. When Swami Vivekananda was asked, he had come back from Chicago and he was giving a talk. Somebody came and asked him, but why are you saying like this? This particular person has told, he quoted even Shankaracharya. But it was not Shankaracharya speaking, it was a Shishya speaking, and Shishya may not have understood properly. But he asked him, but it is said like this, according to this, immediately, but I, Swami Vivekananda, say so. Why? Because I, Swami Vivekananda, say so. Now, will you call this Ahankar? Or it was a Sakshatkar? So that is important. So use what is there inside of us. That is all we can do. Instead of trying to negatively attack ourselves and reduce what is bad, my teacher always says, cultivate what is good, make that good rise so much that What is bad will get either overcome completely or will get overshadowed by the good inside. So here, the Ahankar is there, the Pancha Mahabhutas are there, this senses, Pancha Indriya Gochara. We have the eyes, and their eyesight is the component of the eyes. So total 10. And also, this is the important aspect, and also the inextensible and unmanifest light. There is one in the Kshetra. Means Kshetra is now, let us understand beyond our body also. The Kshetra is like a sphere of influence. We have seen aura, isn't it? We have seen previously when we were looking at dhyana about a circle around us where we are conscious. Well, something like that. In the Kshetra, there is also an unmanifest light. What is this unmanifest light? If somebody can just, tell me what could this mean? Unmanifest light. Anyone? Yes, Ji.
Is it the hidden divinity?
Absolutely,
Yes,
yeah, absolutely. That's spot on. Yes. So the hidden divinity means there is a hidden divinity in our Kshetra, whichever place, wherever we are. We have said, isn't it? Vasudevam Sarvamiti, we have seen experience Sakshatkar of some great ones also. Inside of a prison, what will you see in 6 by 9 feet dark prison, which is for solitary confinement? How can you experience Vasudeva? No, Sri Aurobindo got it there also. So that light of the divine, Hiranyakashipu was not happy, isn't it? What divine is here, there? Then he had to experience from the pillar only. The divine is present inside of that also. So maybe let us hope we don't come into such a situation where we become Hiranyakashipu. But at least we should become conscious. There is an unmanifest light. That light, if you connect with that light, you will get what you need. Krishna has told Dadame Buddhi Yogam Tam, means the helper is there. The guide is there, the giver is there. Problem is the person who is taking only is not recognizing and not knowing how to take. Means they say, Ananta Haste. There are hundreds of hands of the divine to give, but we have only 2 hands. We don't know how to take with those 2 hands also. That's the problem. So an unmanifest light is there in this Srishti. Probably sadhana is for making it manifest. If you want to look at a more practical example, look at the room that you are in. You have a light, isn't it? Sometimes LED light as well, maybe a tube light, or somebody may have a bulb of some particular wattage. What happens when you suddenly remove that and put a very much brighter bulb? What happens to your room? Dimensions of your room changes? Does the dimension of the room change, or what changes? Anybody? What changes when you get a brighter bulb?
No, not dimensions.
So what changes, sir? Kulkarni ji. What changes then?
Just the brightness.
Brightness. Exactly. Okay, Chitraji says brightness.
Yes.
I just Chitraji.
Volume.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, Gayatri ji was saying what?
Sorry. Actually, volume of the room or the space, we feel it is bigger space when it is full of light.
Acha,
Then
so
we
a
get more light.
perception improves. Okay. Yes. So Chitraji, you said brightness increases, isn't it?
Yes.
So what does it make a difference? How does it make a difference?
So the darkness component decreases. So just feel
Things become more clear. It's like HD, something like that. Higher definition.
You can see more
clearly. Yes.
You can see.
Yes, sir.
You can see more clearly.
So it's like suddenly, like when we put on glasses, without glasses, when we see, we cannot see. Where is my phone? I'm unable to see. The moment you put on, it becomes clear. Yes, absolutely. That is what happens. Then that light is what our sadhana should be directed to, because when it is available, we can connect with it. And here Krishna is talking about its presence in every kshetra, meaning go into another territory. Somebody may send you Pakistan also, we say enemy territory. We're not considering countries as our enemies, but now diplomatically we have drawn a line. But even if you are sent somewhere else, which is not your, or you are in a hostile land also, watch out for guidance. It will come to you if you are connecting with the divinity. That is what Krishna is talking about. So there is no place where the divine cannot manifest. So let us not run away from challenges thinking we are alone. Instead, let us face the challenges head on, conscious that there is this component. And I can tell you, this is not just my lived experience, it is by many people. They have received helps, they have got experiences of this divine light in most unlikely situations, and they have seen it. They have seen that experience of a divine light. Krishna goes on, Ichha dveshaha sukham dukkham sanghataschetana dhrutihi etat kshetram samasena suvikaram mudahritam. Desire, dislike. So yes, Badrinathji, now the question is answered. What are the vikara? Krishna says, desire, dislike, pleasure and pain are the field's principal deformations that reign. So these are vikaras. Means what happens when desire comes too much? We spoil things, isn't it? Cake also, you put too much sugar, what's going to happen? You will not enjoy it. The sweetness also, it has to have, it is to be in the correct praman also. So we'll have desires is normal, but when you get carried away by desire, you are going to be deformed. Your relation will get destroyed, your name will get destroyed, your actions will take you away, you will do wrong actions. All these are getting carried away because of the deformations. So that desire, then dislike. So liking, disliking is fine, but when it becomes hate, too much dislike, it gets transformed into hate. Who gets hate is the person who is now going to go away from anything that is good and pure. Hatred is like that, what we can say, a kind of a dark fire, not a bright one. It is going to take a person away from whatever that is good, and it will ruin a person. So desire, dislike, pleasure and pain. So again, pleasure also, what is it? Seeking pleasure, one after the other. You right to pursuit of happiness. Who can give you that right to pursuit of happiness? Even if you are given, what's going to happen? It's like dog has been given the right to chase its tail. What's the use? The tail is going to be behind only. The dog will keep running in circles. That is the human running after pleasure. It is just going to go there until the person becomes exhausted in life, but has never tasted what is Ananda. So this is one more vikara. And pain also. Pain is a bit of a vikara only. And then when the suffering angle gets added to it, it becomes magnified. So these are all what we can say deformations in the field. Also, consciousness, differentiation and perpetuation are its principal constituents, with many a modification. Yes, Urvashi wants to add something? No. All right, and then I'll mute you. Hari Om. Okay, so one was the vikara and the other is the vibhaga. Vikara is the deformation. Vibhaga means the parts. So what are the parts of this kshetra? Krishna is saying consciousness, differentiation and perpetuation. So consciousness is everywhere. One scientist in Pondicherry was demonstrating how even machines have consciousness, which was very interesting. They say, see, certain operators, when they operate these machines, they work perfectly. Some other person, an operator comes, this doesn't. Initially, we were all wondering what it is, but when he demonstrated and showed, see, this machine listens to this operator only, and we were all surprised. How is it happening? He said, because of it's a consciousness, an exchange takes place. There was one person who could ride a cycle. Only that person could ride that cycle that way because that was in such a bad condition. Nobody else could take it. And nobody could steal it also. He didn't have to lock it also because it was like that. Very imbalanced. But this person could understand. Well, something like that. Consciousness is also there everywhere. Sometimes the sadhaks also say, if you want to identify a person, you can just go and identify the person by the table. This I've seen in the offices also. When I go, I had gone to just two principals. Both their offices were completely different. One person had minimal items. They were arranged, little bit not perfectly arranged, but I felt very welcoming and talks went very ahead. The other person I was made to wait 15-20 minutes before going into the office. I entered into the office. I saw it was perfectly filled with so many books. And there was not a little bit space also for the person to keep a hand on the table. Because his end of the table was extending so much that whoever is going to come, this person is not going to listen, was understood just by looking at the table. So my half an hour went, another half an hour of talking also. Before starting, I could understand it will not go too ahead. And I didn't want to jinx it, so I didn't think too much about it. But ultimately that happened, despite all the efforts. So meaning consciousness is a part of the Kshetra, Vibhaga, consciousness, then differentiation. What is this differentiation? That one, Ekoham Bahusyami, is nothing but differentiation of consciousness of that divine. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Chetane Chatibhiyate. Chetana is there of the divine. Where is Chetana? In everybody. All of us have consciousness, but there's a differentiation of consciousness. Each of the individual will have a different level of consciousness, maybe in different moments, different consciousness. So this differentiation is there, meaning spread. Some people are less conscious, some people are more conscious. Look at yogis, they are born only. At a young age, Adi Shankaracharya is able to say, he says, Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Now, how can a child even utter these words, even forget utter? How can anybody memorize also, people wonder. But this person is composing something which is way beyond him. That's a high consciousness. Child is born with that. Well, this differentiation is there in this world. We say all are equal. Yes, we are all equal on the level of the spirit. But on the level of consciousness, there is a divide. And then there is a perpetuation. This is there in nature, isn't it? Species go on. Why do people procreate? Do they plan this, or it is nature which has already introduced this into human nature? It's there in plants, it's there in animals. In our, my G's place, they brought us these guppy fishes. Now suddenly we are seeing 4 generations in front of our eyes of fishes that are procreating in what? Just a small pond. How is it possible? Well, nature has created it. It is a part. It is a part. We don't know what we are doing, why we are, we don't even know all our ancestors also, isn't it? But somewhere this seed of consciousness is being transformed. Evolution is taking place. So many changes, genetic modifications, so many things are taking place continuously. So these are all part of something what we can call the Kshetra, the different Vibhaga of this Kshetra. Let us continue. We'll look at next, say, 4 shlokas. If the time permits, we will see. 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. These shlokas are about what is the way of the Kshetragnya. Means sometimes it's easier to understand through qualities than to understand. I say meditate on Shiva. It's very difficult. How is Shiva? Some people will have a visualization of Shiva as like this. Some people will not be able to visualize. They will say, no, I'll see the Shiva Linga only. I'll think of the Linga of Shiva only. Or some people will say, I don't know who Shiva is. Why are you asking me to think of him? Instead, silence, peace, shanti. That is something much easier. No, if you start going into this quietude, if you reach that quietude, you will connect with Shiva only. The Mandukya Upanishad talks about same thing. Shantam Shivam Advaitam Chaturtham Manyante Sa Atma Sa Vijñeyaha. That is the Atma and that is the realization in that peace and quietude. When will you get that? When you experience it. So through qualities also we can understand divine. If I am very cranky and irritated and all the time irritated, what will you understand about me? Anybody? If I'm always getting irritated, what will be obvious? That I don't know things, isn't it? It will be like, see, this one, they say empty vessel makes more noise. Bhara ghada shant rehta hai, they say. If the jug is full of water, it will become quiet and silent, something like that. Through qualities, we must try to understand. And Krishna is now, how do you want to understand Kshetragnya? First, understand the qualities that define a Kshetragnya. One more interesting aspect is when we know these, the beautiful aspect about qualities is they can be cultivated. If with Shraddha, we are sincere, we can, if we raise our consciousness, barren land can become fertile land also. This is one thing which my teacher has shown, where even grass was not growing. He made some of his students, I was also lucky to, we could grow different varieties of bananas, chilies and so many things. And that land also within 2 years, we saw how it completely got transformed, which was actually very bad. It became soft. It was very, very bad that grass could not grow. Somebody had sprayed some chemical there before us. That was what we had seen. So transformation is possible in our human being also. We have seen sinner can become sadhu suddenly. Sometimes even just by acting also. There's a story. A thief pretends to be a sadhu to escape from the guards of a king. But because he's acting so sincerely and so many people are coming and asking, their Shraddha converts that thief into a sadhu. And he actually becomes realizing that life is left behind. So here, these are the qualities of the Kshetragnya. Who is the Kshetragnya? Maybe later we might realize that. But what are the qualities that come here? Let us see. Amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, shantirarjavam, acharyo, pasanam, shaucham, sthiryam, atma, vinigraha. Devoid of exhibitionism. I have done this, I have done that. There's no need to say this to everybody. What you have done will be visible. Great karmas cannot be hidden at all. They will have their own say. We don't have to go around exhibitioning, doing that, I am this, I am that. Devoid of exhibitionism. Self-priding arrogance. So again, I am this, I am so great. Let me be humble is what some people start. When I want to talk about myself, I would like to be humble. I have done this. I have graduated from this Ivy League institute. I have done gold medal. I have got gold medal. It starts with this dialogue, but there's no humility there. Well, this self-priding arrogance is not required. Replete with non-violence, meaning don't have a violent streak inside of you. Violence can be anything, not just physically harming anyone. Going to a garden and plucking a flower also. There's a violent way of plucking the flower and there's a non-violent way of plucking that flower. You have to understand the meaning of ahimsa. The mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram says you seek permission from the tree while you're plucking the flower also. In that consciousness, delicately take it out. You don't have to. Some people pull along with the flower. They also pull a bit of the branch and some other buds also, which would have blossomed tomorrow into flowers, because there is himsa in that action. Instead, when it's taken out properly, it is much different. So, replete with non-violence, compassion, having a compassion, having empathy, feeling somebody else's sorrows. It's actually something which is very natural to human beings. But because of ahankar and ego, we forget that. Otherwise, our heart will beat for others also. It is not selfish by nature, but it gets hidden by the wrong qualities. So, having compassion, ahimsa, a patient tolerance towards opposite perspective. My teacher Damli says, every day you should do at least one thing which is going against your will. That is the best sadhana. Something which is against, some perspective which is not what you believe in also. Try to understand that perspective. Have that tolerance. Then only your consciousness will rise. With purity from within, serving with love, the spiritual teacher. So again, Acharya Upasanam, why people go to Gurukuls, why people go and do, sometimes big organizational heads, they go and take a broomstick and do jhadu in some some ashram, or they go to some organization, they say, please let me press the feet of the Guru. Now, what happens to the Guru? Does the Guru feel, see, I've got so many people touching my feet? No, it is for that person. Why does that broom help the CEO of an institute? Because that broom is not only removing the dust on the floor, it is removing the dust on the inside also, with the bhava with which the person is doing. Why not in our own home? Why do we have to go outside also? In our own home, just start cleaning something. Follow that shaucha, follow that cleanliness, and with love. And serving the Guru, how can one serve? Anybody? Anybody? How can we serve? If you say Krishna is my Guru, I have said Krishna Munde Jagat Gurum. I have established, I didn't get another Guru, so I have got Krishna now. He is usko Guru bana diya, aap chhodenge nahi usko. So how will you serve? How will you serve that? Serving the Guru. That is also a part. Anybody?
Follow the Guru's instruction.
Yes, follow the Guru's instruction. That is definitely, there are so many 100,000 ways of serving. For Krishna, I want to keep cleanliness in my place. I'm going to bring about, at least let me go. Sometimes people who have never cooked make a effort to learn cooking. Something just for why? Because there is all, divine is there in everything. No action is lower or higher. Or something which you have not done, you want to do that also to improve your personality, because ultimately that is what sadhana is about. And Will not the divine enjoy one more talent blooms inside of a person? So something like that, Krishna says, with purity from within, serving with love, the spiritual teacher. That's why in the Gurukuls, people would stay. Krishna also went to Gurukul, isn't it? Sandipani Ashram. Why does the great avatar have to go there? What was he doing there? Was he giving Gyan and Pravachan only? No, he was gathering sticks. He was doing other works. The all simple chores. Who our great Krishna also was doing the same thing. Why should he do it? Why? No, that is the way. One day Guru Parampara, it is said, and this Parampara goes on from the Sanatan times. It is like as early as what Krishna has told, isn't it? It goes from the Surya, then it goes to this Ikshvaku, Manu, all of that. Well, something like that. Here. So, serving with love, the spiritual teacher, and with mind firmly in control of its lower nature. Again, controlling the lower nature. If I am cranky, if I am irritable at all times, what should I do? My sadhana is to not be cranky. I should not be getting irritated over little things. If I have a nature to question myself all the time, my sadhana is, this is a lower nature, I have identified it. My sadhana is to control my lower nature. Stop doubting me all the time. Sometimes people have their doubts. They are like their worst enemies. They don't need an enemy from outside. This person is sufficient to ruin that person. So what should you do? Keep that outside. Controlling lower nature is also a way of Kshetragnya. Many times I've seen, don't talk to me, some of my friends says, don't talk to me now. That's a beautiful concept because he knows if I talk now, I'll do something wrong. So talk to me after say 1 hour, 2 hours. There are some of my friends and I understand that boss is now not in a good mood. Better not talk to him. And after 1 hour, it's a new person speaking. It's not like the same person. But here we can say the person has worked on his nature. So like that, working on lower nature, we will stop at the 8th shloka only. We'll not go beyond that today. So way of the Kshetragnya is number 1, not having exhibitionism, not having over, arrogance about what is good. The real truth is we should not have it because we don't know when we might jinx ourselves. Everything is good, everything is going my way, and then I'll slip and fall down. Because now I got anchor. Why do we just say touch wood and go on? Okay, I'm lucky. Lucky. It's always good to think you are lucky and not get attached to what you have. It's a problem. Arrogance can take us in wrong directions also. And many times when we are young, we are very lucky. Or when we're in school, when we are teachers are there or our elders are there. Afterwards, we don't have anybody to tell us. Then who is going to take us in the right direction? We will go astray, and until we get the consequences, then it becomes late. So instead, why wait for consequences? Become alert. Krishna will come and whisper from anybody on the road. Also, somebody will come and tell. I got very excited after getting one record for, I don't know why it's called a record, but for writing some Upanishads in rhymes. I was so excited. And on that day, one man on the road almost hit me on. He just came and he just hit me, almost hit me. Another day, within 3 days, another man came and hit me on my back for no reason. And I was all disturbed. Then now I look back, it was like Krishna was only telling Jada uchlo mat, bad job. What is all of this? So in our life, moments come, Krishna will teach us if we have that Shraddha. You see, it is about the Shraddha of the Shishya. It is important. Guru can come and teach even when, if you like Eklavya, his Guru didn't want to teach him. But the Shishya made him. Through the statue, he probably thought him better is a different thing. But he did. That was the bhava. That is important. So, serving the teacher with devotion. And I think Shivaji rightly said, how can we serve our Krishna if we recognize him as our Guru? Simple, following the principles. And the best part is our heart tells us when we don't follow. At least then we should listen and go back on track. And with the mind firmly in control of lower nature. Next shloka will stop after that. Indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha dosha anudarshanam. So looking at these with what we can say, a balanced approach. Dukkha dosha anudarshanam. With absolute detachment, devoid of ego's false perception, beyond the pull of nature's sensual attractions. So having pure detachment, meaning Nobody on the road should come and lure us. Otherwise, if we have attachments, any Tom, Dick, Harry can come and just manipulate us because of our attachments and desires. Most of the time in life, this is what happens. I wanted somebody to talk like this, and this person came and talked to me that way. End of story. We've fallen flat and gone in the wrong direction. And then, oh no, why did I listen to this person? He told me I planned this trip because of that person. Now, what's the use? What's the use of what is the use in crying over spilt milk? It's like that. So this is important. Absolute detachment, devoid of all false perceptions which come from ahankar. Beyond the pull of nature's sensual attractions, nature is programmed. Nature is programmed to lure us with different attractions. This I think we know very well as children preparing for exams. Correctly, when we had exams, only our friends would come and call, let's go, we're going to have a match, or let's go, we'll go outside. So what did we do that time? I think most of us have prepared, we have worked hard, we've gone through the entire cycle. That time we were in control, isn't it? Would have felt, oh, it would have been so nice going and enjoying for half an hour with my friend. But no, I have to prepare, I have to do my homework. So there you are in control. But moments came like that moments keep coming in our life every time. Nature is programmed for that. We will see later about nature, how much nature is programming us actually. A lot of places. Well, here, getting out of that pull, knowing the truth of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, birth, death, old age, and illness. Without sorrow, understanding their underlying oneness. This is a very big aspect. Understanding the underlying oneness without sorrow. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Birth, I think nobody has control over that. We were born. Not something we did. We got birth. We like the birth, we didn't like the birth. There's nothing we can do about it, isn't it? It's come to us. So we have to accept. Chalo, aaj to menu mein ye tha, mil gaya. That's all we can do, isn't it? What comes on our plate, we have to accept it, something like that. So this birth, yes. Death. Death is going to happen to that person. No, it's going to happen to me only. I should know that. Because every time it will happen to that person, it will happen to that person. No. Mrityu is a truth of life, isn't it? Mrityu is something which is an absolute truth of life, which cannot be avoided. I can say I don't want to die right now. I want to live a long life. I will try to live a long life. I'll try to do as much as I can. But the ultimate truth is that only that Mrityu will come whenever it has to. I can control how I live. How I live. Maybe I cannot control how long I live. Definitely. One young sister of mine, she got diagnosed with lung cancer, stage 3. Doctor says you have 4 months to live. She decided I will not listen to the doctor. Now more than 4 months are over. She got that perfectly treated also. Means she got a medication which is working for that particular. One more doctor comes and says you are lucky you got this type of cancer because this is responding to treatment. Now, how can one be lucky because of this? But no, for her, she feels that. And from the beginning, she did not accept. She went with so much balance that when she got the bad news and she wanted to break it to her father, she called her parents they were far away. She called her father and mother. And before they came home, she was cleaning everything so that when they come, the place should be calm and peaceful. Now, imagine the small girl, hardly 26 years of age, going through such a big trouble. Anybody would be broken, isn't it? What did I do in life? Why is life unfair? Why me? All of that. But no, she decided. So this is what we can call, this is the way of yogi, and this helps. This helps in difficult moments also. This helped in one more friend of mine who got diagnosed with blood cancer. She's my school friend. She got diagnosed, and my mother, being a pathologist, diagnosed it. So I came to know about it. Otherwise, it was not going to come to anybody else. I spoke to her on the phone. She was in tears, everything, but she decided she will fight. And she was one of the 18 patients who survived in that period. 18 out of 18, only one. And she was the one. What, how, what, logic, nothing. But she had a very long fight. Full 1 year of her life went in that. Next 2 years went in the therapy and everything. Now she's got married after 6 years of it. which was not at all imaginable at that particular moment. So look at life. Life is changing, always dynamic. We don't know. So don't have to get disturbed. Treating death also with oneness. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. This is a part of life. This is something which must be understood. Janma, Mrityu, Jara. Jara, old age. No, I am not getting old. I'll keep coloring my hair. How long will I keep coloring my hair? Every time I color my hair, I will see what I'm coloring, isn't it? So maybe the world will not see, but I will know I'm aging. After a while, I'll not be able to hide that also. So what does that mean? Childhood. Is childhood dead in all of us because we are all adults? Yes. Is childhood dead? No, isn't it? It's still inside of us only. It is a part. We have matured, but there's just a part which is very much alive in the heart. The mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram says, is the heart which does not age at all. And I have seen friends. I have seen friends who are 20, but who look like they are 80. By the way they walk, by the way they talk, and things and life. And then I have seen people who are in their 80s and they're still as fresh and young and enthusiastic about things. And I feel more, and even my teacher, Guruji, is 76. Meeting at 4 a.m. also is okay. Meeting at 11 p.m. is also okay. I am the one who is a little lazy and I feel, abhi meeting hai kya? Like that. But he is always having that force of energy. Where is it coming from? What is it coming from? It is the spirit. So the spirit force is there. Understanding this also as a part of life. Childhood, birth, old age, death, and disease. Disease of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Disease, I think everybody gets some disease sometime or the other in life. The trick is to deal with it without, what Krishna is saying, accept it without sorrow. This, and understand this is a part of life. It's something which is happening naturally only, isn't it? We're all going through this cycle. Nobody is conscious. Am I aging by myself? Or it's happening in nature? It's happening in nature. So it's something Prakriti has planted. So we are already in a part of some kind of system which is working. Understanding without getting too disturbed by it is also an important aspect of Kshetragnya. We stop here. With this, we will stop. We've seen 2. We'll see 3 more shlokas and we'll go inside. This Adhyay actually, one batch I had quickly completed the Adhyay in the very starting phase, where I thought this Adhyay can be completed in 2 sessions. Then I had to take a catch-up session on the Saturday because everybody said, no, this Purusha Prakritik part is again confusing. So we'll rather go at this speed only. If you want something, if you have some suggestions, you can just tell me. So here what we saw today was about 2 parts of the Kshetragnya. 3 more will be shared and then we'll go on with the Adhyay. I conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Anybody has any queries, you are most welcome after that. Hari Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyanto, ma kasyit dukkha bhag bhavet. Hari Om Tatsat. Krishna Mande Jagat Gurum. Hari Om Ji. Namaste. Any queries? Most welcome.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om Ji.
Hari Om.
Namaste.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om Ji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om Ji. Namaste.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Ji. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Namaste. Hari Om Ji. Hari Om. Yes. Any queries? If not, I'll conclude the session.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Badrinaran Ji, do you want to share something or you have some query?
No. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Hari
Hari
Om.
Om. Hari Om Ji.
Yeah.
Yes, Ji.
Yeah. Just very quickly, this when we talk about Ananda, it's
Yeah.
a state of permanent bliss, right? So it's a permanent state of bliss, isn't it? No sorrow, no happiness.
No, that is when you are in a state of Ananda, but we get glimpses of Ananda, no? We get moments.
That's just my question. Can we get it? Because isn't that a perfect state where for however long you don't have a sorrow or happiness, but when you say a momentary state, you're only forgetting the sorrow and it's actually happiness.
No, means it's like Ananda is something which is beyond this happiness and sorrow. Means when bad news comes, our eyes water sometimes. But that time it is connected with ourself. Somebody has passed away.
Yeah.
I am crying. Why is this person gone? Why is that person? But it is all connected with us. That person has left me. There, the individual self connection is still there. There, that Ananda will not come. Ananda is that when those tears flow freely without what we can say, any personal connection of individual ahankar, where the individual becomes slightly bigger. What they say, for example, there's an inner divine being which is called psychic being or Chaitya Purush. When that comes to the front, you feel Ananda in moments. I'm talking about every living being. Some moment comes who are conscious, no? Like somebody goes to in a nature's company, suddenly in a quiet moment where it is impersonal. So Ananda is that impersonal state. Yogis are going to that state when they say Santushta Satatam Yogi. Satatam means always. So they are able to go into that state of being permanently. We probably on our journey, we have to try to grab those moments slowly and increase their duration. But when it comes, there is a state, there is a possibility. But I think a simpler example would be grandfather and grandchildren dialogues. Grandfather speaking to grandson. So many, it's very young child, say 3-year-old or 4-year-old child speaking with grandfather. Dialogue. What will you call that dialogue? A kind of blissful only, no? Because there is nothing give and take from the 3-year-old, 4-year-old child.
Yeah, true. But there's enjoyment and happiness there. But is it Ananda? It's happiness.
It's got means here. If this is my grandson, if that grandfather has added his individual, I have given him good genes. I raised his father. I raised everything. Now this person here, when that I comes in and the happiness is coming because of the I, then there is very small percentage, fraction of Ananda. When that I slowly, it's like concentration of Ananda increases, if you can say, if we want to say like a essence, no?
Right.
Maybe what I can say is, Shivaji, is probably we get glimpses of Ananda in some divine moments, but yogis don't get glimpses. They are actually getting the full picture, and that is why in that state, I have not reached that full state, so I can say moments are there. They give sometimes they are beyond our feelings of happiness also.
Right. Because my confusion was because when you say that liberated souls are in a permanent state of bliss, Ananda, understood. They are not forgetting. They are already in that state. They don't. It's not their fault, their life. But when we talk of in the lower plane, like normal human beings, it is just we are forgetting the sorrows, isn't it? It's not, you're not in a state of bliss. You're just forgetting.
No, for example, dhyana and a satisfaction that comes after dhyana. Sometimes people sit like not every day also. When person does regular dhyana, suddenly there is a quiet feeling which comes in, and when the person, even the eyes don't open very quickly. The person is in a state of absolute quietude. It doesn't happen every day.
Okay.
And then, अरे आज क्या एक अनुभव अलग ही था. One quietude. You can say maybe that was a glimpse of an Ananda because it has nothing. You didn't get some special darshana. You didn't get some awakened feeling inside or something, but sudden quietude, what we can say.
Okay.
And it is possible though. Krishna has told it's possible. And for us, problem is Prakriti is preventing it every time.
Yeah.
Best moment, somebody comes, something will come. अरे यार वो आदमी अभी बेल लगा, अभी बजाना था कि अभी ध्यान हो रहा था और ये ऐसा हो रहा है, something like that. Or I got a news, market price fell, stocks crashed. Something keeps coming. So yogis go to that state. Krishna is slowly leading Arjuna, but Shivaji, that should be our aspiration because even karma yogis are there in state of Ananda, and we have to aspire in our life to become instruments of the divine, because then we can bring about Loka Sangra. Means one person can become a harbinger of a big change. That much we know. When we lead to benefit in somebody else's life, small benefit of action is also benefiting. We get a satisfaction, yes, but it leads to so many chain of events, isn't it?
That's right.
Maybe
Yeah.
so something like that. We have to become available for the divine is what we should become his Arjuna, Krishna's Arjuna, and he should have roles for us is what we should aspire. And Ananda is something which Sri Aurobindo says, Anandam hi pravakshami bhagavatadishtaha tamasam apavrutya prakashastu anandasya putraha. Means Anandam hi pravakshami. I am telling you, children of bliss, harbingers of his light, spread his light, spread his Ananda. That is my instruction, is what Sri Aurobindo says. You are children of Ananda. You have taste that Ananda and spread it wherever you go.
Okay.
Yes, sir. All right, sir.
Hari.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Hari Om. Hari Om. Jai Shri Krishna.